All right, so elementary school, one of my best friends, I think it was maybe like fourth grade or fifth grade, was a Jewish kid. He tells me that he doesn't celebrate Christmas, and I was like, what? Like, Christmas is the best thing in the whole world. And I'm like, well, do you want to have Christmas with us? My mom said, you're going to have to give him some of your Christmas presents. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So
Randy, the only present Randy remembers is the one that he didn't get to open because he gave it to his friend.
I remember what I gave Nathan because I was like, oh, that would have been mine. Because I didn't know beforehand because I didn't really choose which presents he got. But he got like one of those little things where it's like the little BBs and then the magnet gun where you grab the BB and then you shoot it at the little targets. He got a bunch of other presents too, but that was the one that I was like, oh.
I'm not sure why, the Christmases you remember most are the sad ones.
I don't think that Christmas at my house is a normal Christmas experience because we just have like 8 kids and we have a ton of crazy traditions like steamroller.
So almost always every Christmas we end up steamrolling Lisa.
I'm not sure how we started the tradition of steamroller with Lisa, but I can't remember Christmases where we didn't steamroller Lisa, and I'm not sure why.
Not sure how that tradition started, but it's a good one. We're gonna keep that one.
And the nativity and the songs we sing, and we do a talent show, and that's the representation of the talent show in this video is pretty accurate. That's about what you see on the talent show.
We always, every year, we'll do a nativity scene, and it's not always extremely reverent as it probably should be.
I remember one year, Brett made up this awesome Christmas song that he'd play on the guitar, and he'd be like, Christmas with the Roberts something, and he said that time, and Dave's always the donkey. And I don't remember Dave being the donkey before that, but ever since then, Dave was always the donkey. So every year we'd like make this big old tent out of sheets that we'd like pin to the ceiling and hang on the beds and put all around the room. And I remember staying up with Nathan. He couldn't sleep. He was so excited about Christmas the next morning, so he just like kept on just like giggly and like shaking me, like wanted to keep on poking me and like asking me questions about Christmas. So excited.
It's like when you're 3 or 4 years old and you're kind of experiencing Christmas for the first time, and he was super excited about the whole thing.
I thought it was cool because Brett came into our little tent to tell us a scary story, and he used my Christmas hat to dim the light a little bit, and so he put it like directly on the light bulb, like with the hat covering it up, and then after a little while of telling the story, it started smoking in there, and so yeah, burned holes in my Christmas hat. I was a little angry.
We would always get sweaters, and we lived in Southern California. Every Christmas we would get a sweater, and it was like a knitted type sweater that was appropriate for church only, and we would never wear them.
I remember telling my parents that's what I wanted was a Big Track, BIGTRAK, Big Track. So I open it up. I was super excited. I run out and I start, reading the instructions and stuff, and I let the neighbor kid use it, and it goes out into the street, and the people that were visiting his house, actually in the actual story, backed out of the driveway and ran right over that thing, and I was like, ah!
It was funny having the big track and, contemplating running it over again, which Brett's like, I think we could probably film this in a way where we don't have to run it over. I'm like, no, Brett, we have to run it over. He's like, no, because, if we put the big track here.
It was hard in this video to run it over again, going through withdrawals.
Since I was the professional driver out of everybody, I was chosen to run over the big track. But mostly it was just because of my car. I got to run it over.
Randy did a really good job of aiming the car at my Big Track. That was pretty traumatizing.